other than the one time where mom accused me of leaving voicemails saying that I was harassing her and it was rude, when in fact I was calling to apologize. And I apologized over voice because I thought it would have more sincerity and earnest than in a letter. That's why. And she'll never present that video unless it's court ordered. And she will have she has recorded and written to me, word for word, everything I've said in every voicemail, except that one, and she refuses to provide it because she's lying, and she knows she's lying. And so in the one, so other than that one time though, and that's important, Trevor or Danielle, whoever's listening to this, who I called and apologized, and she turns around because she's not trying to make peace. She's not trying to work with me. She's trying to win. I'm okay if I lose, if that means my daughter is safe and that's best for her. You have to get to that place. That's why I'm not angry at her. I'm truly not angry at her. I am always going to be angry when she tries to keep. There is no danger for our daughter to have FaceTime with me every day. I'm not even in the room. I can't even access her. There's no danger. There was no danger for 7 months for me to see her with a supervisor. There was no danger. That could have happened the first week of June, but she intentionally did that because she didn't want me to be around the kid. That upsets me because there was no danger. Now, if a judge says, hey, Mr. Smith, refusing me to have her without supervision, it upset me in the moment, but it was exactly what should have happened. And I understood that. In hindsight, I understand that now. So I understood it in the past. Like 4 months after it happened, like in July, that happened. And it took me about till October to really understand that, I see what judges are doing. They see these cases in and out every day. And they sit there, they give tough love, and they hope the person gets their shit together because that's all they can do. And I'm sure they probably go home and they're human beings and they probably think about that father who loves his kid and they're hoping he's going to get better. And I'm talking about me because they have hearts and I understand. And I get it now. I get it. Other than that one time, what has caused me to continue to drink, and this was through, I've been that night that day when I got that message about her saying I assaulted her, I had to call the police. There was this whole thing. I had to call my lawyer. And the only other time that she's really upset is when she said she was trying to pursue a final order, because up until that time I really thought we could work together. And I realized in that moment when I offered her a car because I really need a new one for work, like to lease one, because this one isn't, and there's 2 years left on the lease. I offered her the car. The next day, she goes, you have 2 days to pick a school or else I'm just going to do it unilaterally. Up until then, the spirit was we were going to work together. And I go, I just offered you a car and now you're giving me 2 days. When I'm up north, I have a concussion. I don't have a car. I had sent all of that in email. And Trevor, if you want that, I can send all of those specific emails to you. All of this other stuff of why I was drinking, because I was up I started drinking when I was on the boat, and I was okay. And it took about 2 years, it started building up. And even until recently, it was only when I was on the phone talking with this therapist. You basically spend 5 weeks or 6 weeks, you don't drink, and then you've got to learn why you're doing it, okay? And this is they'll say, oh, well, he drank a lot. Yeah, but that's part of it. You're going to go through those stages. And any specialist, and Trevor, Danielle, it should probably be noted, if they want a specialist to say this, I will get one in, and I would ask to adjourn for a week and a half or 2 weeks and get a specialist in who will absolutely say everything I'm saying here is true, or to get a letter. Or if you get this done quickly, I can absolutely get a specialist, up in the court to go, this is absolutely true. It's not like a through line where you're perfectly successful. It's like meaning if you think of a chart, right, of success, right? It's not like perfectly on a 45 degree angle. It'll be like 45 degrees and then it's 90 degree parallel, right, to not succeeding. Or even you dip and then you go back up 45 degrees and then you dip and then you go back up 45 degrees and then you dip. That's the pattern. But as long as those dips become further and further apart, you're making progress. Again, someone like eating bad food who has a heart disease. It's the same thing. But what I realized when in December 31st, after we signed the court, I was still drinking, and part of it was for work. There was a lot of stress. This was my first year building the company. It was pure hell. It was pure hell. And I had an ex, Micheline was no help, and no matter what I asked her to do, she would not help. She would not give an inch. She would not budge. She gives nothing and expects everything. She won't pick up the phone. In December, my best friend's parent died. They just wanted to speak to Maya. They had met her quite a few times. I called like 20 times. I'd emailed mom. And I left a message pissed off. And I'm like, I'm saying, I'm just on the other line with somebody who's about to, near death. People are saying their farewell, and I can't even get my ex-wife to pick up the fucking phone. And she knows about this. I've told her this was going to happen. Right? And I get angry. I go, pick up the fucking phone. Nobody. And they'll say I'm a bad guy. Right? The reason I was drinking on top of that when things got better was because it is a pain of, and this is from a therapist. This is the only thing that a therapist has said to me that rocked my world was, this is a disease, not a problem. And Paul, you're drinking because of unresolved issues in your life and you. And it's because I love my daughter beyond belief. And I couldn't even imagine not being in her life. And I couldn't imagine her being hurt by me not being there. And I now, as a grown man, and from 7 years of age to 37 years of age, for 36 years before my daughter was born, I never knew the love I could have for someone could be so overwhelming. And now I have to, and so I drink because it hurts me, not knowing what I wasn't enough. I was a year old, and how my dad just couldn't love me. And that's why I do it sometimes when she's with me on Father's Day, because it hurts so much. I was so having such a great day, but I couldn't help but look at her because I want her to have the father, and I want to be the father I wish I always had. And as excited as I am for her, it hurts when I see that in that moment when I'm with her, because I wish I had those memories too.